Without
I
sleeping.
forgot to change that.
There you go, baby.
Key to success: work harder
That was
than anyone
college for
expects. Take it away, Kai.
Thanks for moving, Chris. So, rather than me standing up here and talking about the same thing I always talk about, I think this video explains it a lot faster with visuals and what I can do. So, I'm just going to show the video real quick, and then I'll get into telling you a little bit more about my business.
A time when we can kick back and relax. We all know the goal of retirement savings: to have enough money to cover our expenses and to have a little left over for the fun stuff. What's tricky is knowing the best way to reach our goals, like how much you need to save or how you should invest your money. So let's go over some retirement planning basics. To plan for retirement, you need to decide 3 things: your savings goal, what type of retirement account you'd like to open, and how you'll manage your money in your account. Let's begin with your savings goal. A retirement goal helps you plan when you're going to retire and how much money you'll need to live comfortably. By identifying how big your nest egg should be, you'll be able to determine how much you need to save each month and how to allocate your investments. One quick way to set a retirement savings goal is by using a retirement calculator. These calculators are easy to find online and are usually free to use. By answering a few basic questions, like your age and how much you would like to save each month, you can then estimate how much money you'll have when you retire. After establishing a goal, your next step is to open a retirement account. Be sure to talk with your broker, financial advisor, or tax person to discuss what kind of retirement account is right for you. There are a number of different retirement accounts available. Let's examine some of the most common. Most retirement accounts are either employer-sponsored or individual accounts. Employer-sponsored accounts are retirement accounts offered by a company to its employees. One example of these is a 401k retirement savings plan. Employer-sponsored accounts can provide a number of benefits, including automatic paycheck withdrawal and tax benefits. Some companies even match part of its employees' contributions. One drawback to employer-sponsored accounts is that your choices for how you'd like to invest your money may be limited. If your employer offers any retirement benefits, you should examine the details to determine whether opening an employer-sponsored account is right for you. If your employer does not offer any of these benefits, or if you would like to supplement your existing retirement savings with another account that offers more investment choices, then you may want to open an individual retirement account. A common type of these accounts is an individual retirement account, or IRA. The primary benefit of an IRA is that it allows your investments to grow tax-deferred, which over time can help you grow your investments more quickly. In an IRA, you can invest the funds in a wide variety of products, like stocks, bonds, and mutual funds. An IRA usually provides more selection of these products than an employer-sponsored account. There are several types of IRAs. Let's compare 2 of the most common: a Roth IRA and a traditional IRA. When choosing between the 2, the primary question you need to ask yourself is, do I want to pay income tax now with a Roth IRA or later with a traditional IRA? With a Roth IRA, you pay taxes on your contributions now. However, with a traditional IRA, you are not taxed on your contributions. Instead, you pay taxes when you reach retirement age and withdraw money from the account. But it's worth noting that if you also contribute to an employer-sponsored retirement account, your contributions to a traditional IRA may not be deductible. So which tax benefits are better for your retirement savings? Well, that depends. Do you think your income tax rate is higher now? Or will it be higher when you reach retirement? If you expect income tax rates to be higher when you reach retirement, a Roth IRA may be preferred. However, distinct tax implications represent just one of the differences between a Roth and a traditional IRA. Be sure to investigate all the details of each IRA before you open an account. Once you've opened a retirement account and started making contributions, the final step is deciding how you will invest your money. Your choice depends on how actively you want to manage your portfolio. Do you want to actively manage your investments yourself, or would you prefer to leave your investing up to a financial professional? Maybe you're somewhere in the middle and want some say in how your money is invested, but don't want to have to check your portfolio every day. Check what services are available with your retirement account. Many institutions provide a variety of choices that allow you to be as active as you would like when it comes to your retirement investing. Now that you know a few basics about retirement planning, the next step is up to you. Set your goal, establish your retirement accounts, and start saving. The best time to start saving is today.
Alright, thanks for your attention on that one. I mean, that's basically what I do in a nutshell, right? The hardest part about what I do is just getting people to realize that they need a plan ahead. That the time, as you mentioned before, is now, right? If you actually do the math and you say, well, if I want to be retired for 30 years, right? Let's say I want to retire early, I want to retire at 55. Well, that would mean if you're using an age 90 life expectancy, that you're going to need income for 35 years, right? So when should you start saving? Well, even if you started at 25 and you saved till 55, you still save for fewer years than you were planning to be retired. Again, assuming age 90. So we don't know what our longevity is going to bring us, but there's ways that you can plan around that. Okay, so what I actually want to talk about as well, since I'm always talking about the planning side of it, I want to just talk a little bit about one of our more popular products. And the reason this product is so popular is because of the most recent market volatility. Does everyone have one? Chris, I'll leave this right here for you. But what is market volatility? It just has to do with the market going up and down, right? And everybody's happy when it goes up, and everybody's sad when it goes down, right? And I think Warren Buffett, he actually put this in a really, really good analogy. And he's saying, well, you know, if everybody, you know, has just a little boat, everybody goes out into the water. If the tides are calm, then everybody's fine, right? But once the waves get rocky, are you in a big enough boat? Did you diversify your investments, right? Are you in something that's not going to capsize once it gets a little bit rocky, right? That's what happened in the late 1990s. That was when you could literally buy anything, and it would have gone up. You put money in the market, goes up, oh, I'm a genius, right? But late 2000, 2001, 2002, the dot-com bubble burst comes, right? Now people realize, well, maybe I wasn't as smart as I thought, right? I was just getting lucky. So when you're actually planning for your retirement, this isn't a sprint to the end, right? You're not trying to put all your money in black and hope you can retire tomorrow, although some people might want to do that. You know, what we do is we actually create that plan. And we say, well, we know you have this many years before you retire, and you want to be retired for this many years, so here's the steps to take. Okay? Now, as far as the product is concerned, for people who are looking into retirement within the next 5 years, this is a very appealing product. It's called SCS, Structured Capital Strategies. And basically what it allows for is allows them to participate in the market with the cap and a floor. And so if you look at, if you open it up and you actually skip down to number 4, you'll see the hypothetical scenarios. So before you get into that, number 3, which index, for how long, and how much downside protection. Number 4 shows you how this works. Okay, so hypothetically speaking, if you were to pick one of these cap rates and segment buffers, let's say you picked a 20% segment buffer for 5 years, and you had a 35% performance cap. These are all the things that could possibly happen. So if you pick 5 years, you dumped in 100,000, market went up 19%. 5 years later, you walk out of that investment with 119,000. Make sense? Scenario 2, you put in 100,000, market over that time frame drops 15%. You have a 20% segment buffer, you get your 100,000 back. Right? You didn't lose anything. Possibility number 4, you put in that money, your cap rate is 35%, market goes up to 40%, you get 35. You get up to your cap rate. So, you know, that's where the downside is, right? The fact that you can only get up to a certain amount. But what it's also doing is protecting you for the first 20% of loss. And so in scenario 4, put in 100,000, market drops 22%, you get back 98,000. Does that make sense? So this is really for individuals that are kind of afraid of the market, but they're sick of getting 0.01% in an IRA CD, right? They don't want to be that conservative, and they want to see some growth. But they're afraid that if I put this money in there, and scenario 4 happens, well, now I lost 22% of my account. can I still retire? This is going to allow them to have that upside potential without having them take on the full amount of downside risk. Okay, so if you know anyone that's within 5 years of retirement, this is a very, very good option for them. It also works for more conservative investors who aren't that close to retirement, but they want to participate in the market. What I would do is sit down with them, assess their situation, and then we can come up with whether or not this is a suitable product for them. Questions?
How much is the minimum amount that needs to be invested?
The minimum amount in this is $25,000.
And why 5 years away from retirement? What, do they have
There's a
that
5
money?
year surrender on this. So if you put your money in there, you can't touch it for 5 years. Okay. Otherwise, it's a 5% penalty.
So would they be taking all their money out of whatever it's in and putting it in there,
I mean, it works best with rollover funds
or rollover profit?
because this, again, for mostly retirement. Plus, once you put money in something like this, you can't take it out till 59 and a half. And so, if you're 50 and you put money in here, it's basically earmarked for retirement. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But if you're rolling funds over, let's say you had an IRA that was invested very aggressively, or you had an old 401k that you no longer work there, the money's just sitting there. I had some people in the last month lost 25%. Okay. So these are very aggressive investors. They know the risk involved. The market took a big dive. But the only people who suffered that were people who were at least 10 years out from retirement. You see how that works? And so they'll be okay. But if you were within 10 years of retirement and you saw something like that happen, that would scare the crap out of you. Right? So this can protect them.
What is the time frame on this? So if it goes up 35 and down 22, if it moves around, is it within that 5 year period?
So you can
That's
pick
it?
a 1, 3, or 5 year segment. We call them segments. And it's up to you. If you want to pick a 1 year segment, then it'll reset every year. You still got to keep it in there for 5 years. But every year now it'll reset. If it go up or down, if it went up 10%, okay, there. That's your new baseline. That's your new principal amount. Does that make sense?
If it goes down 20% every year, then you're screwed.
Well, if you didn't have this,
We
then
all
you'd
are.
be super screwed, right?
If it goes up,
You would've
20,
lost
if it goes
twice as much.
35% each year, then you're good.
Yeah.
Yeah, market's up over 250 today. Stay tuned.
Okay, and we probably have time for one more question.
So do you see a benefit in someone like my age putting almost all of their cash into some kind of account like a IRA or Roth?
After you buy a house.
If you've never bought a house before, I would say you're better off putting, at this stage in your life, more money in a Roth IRA. So I would put the maximum in a Roth every time.
Right.
The reason for that, if you've never bought a house, you can take out $10,000 with no penalty and use that for the down payment of a first-time home buyer. In addition to that, you can always take out principal of a Roth. Okay. So if you have an emergency, you can actually take out the amount you put in. You just can't take out anything above that, otherwise you'll have to pay 10% penalty.
I'm sorry, back that up just a little about buying real estate.
If you have never bought a home before, from an IRA or a Roth IRA, you can take out $10,000 for first-time home purchase. But you should do it in the Roth instead, because if you take it out of your IRA, you're still going to have to subject that to tax.
There's one thing about the paying taxes before and going into a Roth. If you use that part, that's type of a Roth.
Yeah.
Any of the, and
You can use the Roth.
just on the Roth that was mentioned, I didn't hear it say that if you invest that type of Roth, the interest you earn is
It's also tax-free.
tax protected when you take it out. So not
Well,
deferred.
it's tax. They call it tax deferred while it's growing, and tax free at distribution. That's just the verbiage that they use. But in actuality, that's basically what it's saying is once you pay the tax on that initial $5,000, whether or not it goes to $10,000 or $100,000, you can pull out the full amount of your account without any taxation.
Thank you very much, Kai. We are out of time. Thank you for that excellent presentation. And we've come to the most important part of our